So he promised me that when he bring me over to his country, that his house is already ready for me and the boys. You know, he has a 3-bedroom house. It will be perfect for him, me, and then the boys.
It sounded good though, didn't it?
He showed me a video of his house, and okay, yeah, good.
Right.
You know, but you know, you're feeding a fantasy to the Filipina that maybe it's true.
What is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad. I'm your host, Richie Rich.
And this is Cheng. Today we're going to talk about a topic that we normally don't talk about.
No, we don't talk about this.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Western men who come here to the Philippines and make promises they don't keep. Whether it's a promise of marriage, visa, a house, or moving in together. These words often mean a lot to some of the Filipinas here in the Philippines.
They mean a lot.
Yeah, they do. And for a lot of women, these promises mean hope. But for some, it means heartbreak.
So let's talk about why this happens, what's really going on, and how both sides can protect themselves from false hope and broken trust.
But before we do, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest video.
And stay tuned to the end of this video because we got a whole bunch of bloopers and outtakes that'll keep you entertained all the way to the end.
Yeah.
All right, Cheng, kick the intro and let's get into this video. Boo! Oh. Rolling by trike. Here we go. Okay, first and foremost, I think a lot of dudes come here and they have good intentions. They just don't understand how impactful their words are out here. You think some dudes are just malicious?
You know, like for example, I want to like get to know you better. So in her mind, she's thinking already that, you know, he wants to marry me.
No, you just say you want to get to know you, right? So I think some of it's cultural where you guys don't understand what we're really saying. Yeah, like you said, I just said I want to get to know you. I'm not putting a ring on your finger tomorrow, right? I think it has a lot to. I think there's a lot of men who say what the woman wants to hear.
I agree. And very important, you know, words are very powerful. And a lot of times, Filipinas would actually believe what you're going to... Yeah, believe stuff that you're going to say. Even if it's not backed up with facts, they will just believe what they're going to hear.
A lot of Filipinas don't know whether you're telling the truth or not. They just really don't know. They believe everything. I mean, everything.
They take it at face value.
Take it at face value.
Yeah, and she will take your word for it, especially when you say it in a serious manner. She will make sure, or she will believe really that you are serious about what you're talking about.
I do think that there's cats who come here with the intention of misleading because they're just trying to get ass. They're just coming here trying to get ass. They're going to tell a woman whatever they need to say to make her drop her panties and give them some ass.
Yeah, I believe so too.
That's what bothers me. I think there's a lot of dudes who come here with no plan to commit at all, but they say all the stuff that makes Filipinas believe that they're in it to win it.
Yeah, and because they think that a lot of them, you know, if they are financially advantaged here in the Philippines, they would think that they're like kings here.
You was kind of on the dating scene before you met.
You know what? Something crazy I heard?
What?
So he promised me that when he bring me over to his country, that his house is already ready for me and the boys. You know, he has a 3-bedroom house. It will be perfect for him, me, and then the boys.
It sounded good though, didn't it? It sounded good though.
Sounded good.
Yeah, like really good.
Yeah,
and he might have had a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah, he showed me a video of his house, and okay, yeah, good.
Right.
You know, but you know, you're feeding a fantasy to the Filipina that maybe it's true, maybe it's not.
Dudes was like saying, I'm gonna marry you. We're gonna get married, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring you to my country.
So he was talking about, the spousal, fiance visa first.
Right.
So he's talking about, we need to apply for a fiance visa and stuff like that. So you need to have at least, prepare something financially too. So, I don't have to worry about the financial situation because I already have, like,
Man, what happened? You that up, didn't you? Sound like a pretty damn good deal.
As we were talking about making these videos of, I noticed the red flags. The red flags.
What was the red flag?
The red flag is that there are certain times of the day, specific times of the day, that he would only video call me. Like, for example, when I want to video call him or call him.
Maybe he was working.
Huh?
Maybe he was working.
He would always say that mom's here. So what? Your mom's there.
His mama?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
His mom was there.
But that's one bedroom. Oh, I mean, I'm just doing some quick math.
I know.
His mama in one room, y'all in another room, and the boys are going to share a third room?
I don't know. So that's why...
You wasn't asking enough questions.
Because I believe.
You wasn't asking enough questions because you believed. Huh?
Because I believe.
It just sounded good. Huh?
Yeah, it sounded good. Everything.
3 bedrooms, big ass house.
I didn't think about that.
A whole bunch of space. I just got to deal with his mama.
Yeah.
So he was American?
He was American. He's from Alabama. I told you.
Alabama. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Lesson learned though, huh?
Lesson learned.
Did he tell you he built you? He said he already had the house. Huh?
He already had the house. He said he was an software engineer.
He might have been.
I think he is.
I'm sure his mama lived with him.
Yeah. He's a software engineer, and then
so he was like, "I'll buy you a house, or I got a house, and I'm gonna take good care of you, take good care of you and the boys." Did he send you money?
Never, because in fact, the role is reversed. I'm gonna send him something like a gift.
You don't send him money?
No, I'm not gonna send him money. I'm gonna send him something, a gift, because he's a metalhead. I bought a lot of stuff for him. He's a metalhead, and he wanted.
And he lived with his mama?
Yeah, I bought him some stuff.
And you sent it to him?
Huh? I wasn't able to, because how would I know? He wouldn't say his address. Yeah.
That wasn't a red flag to you?
It was. It was. That's why when I started asking details about him, and he was so hesitant to give that information. I mean, I would understand, because especially when you're vetting, you don't want to give your personal information.
I get it, but hold on though. If I'm promising you to take care of your boys, I'm promising you to get you a fiance visa, promising you gonna come live with me in my big ass house, and I can't give you the address, that didn't raise no red flag for you?
It did. That's why when I started.
But you were gonna buy him some stuff,
I already bought him some stuff, and then I told him that I'm going to send it to him. So I need his address.
What's the address? He said,
no. That's when he stopped. And,
oof.
Yeah, he's gone.
He pulled the Houdini.
Yeah, because maybe.
So I'm not. I ain't laughing at you. I'm just. I mean, hey, come on, man.
Yeah, he started saying that I might not be able to come there really in the Philippines because something came up with my medical thing. Oh, that's too bad. I said, I want to believe, but there's a lot of red flags already that I'm seeing. So yeah, that's why it hurts, because he promised.
I still don't understand the concept of you guys in these long distance relationships,
because
it's all built on a fantasy.
It is.
It's all built on this fantasy that someday Prince Charming is going to come and ride. He's going to ride in and sweep you off and take you, whisk you off.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to ride off into the sunset and all that stuff.
But
that don't sound crazy to you though?
In my mind, I really don't want to live in the US, but if that's his, but I already have a house here, etc., etc. So
right.
Okay, then whatever, because
All right. It all sounds amazing, but without action, it's just words.
Yeah, it's like 6 months of wasted time. And then, of course, when these promises are repeated over and over without follow through, this becomes, emotional weapons.
Right.
Yeah. So you just keep on. Those promises becomes hope.
Do you think some of the dudes like come here and they make these promises to keep you hooked, to keep the women hooked?
Yes, of course. I think because a lot women are emotional, duh. So they use that tool, the weakness of the females or the women are emotions.
Right.
They use that the weakness of the women to lure them in. And what's even worse is that some Filipinas wait for years.
That's the part I don't get. Like, why? I mean, at some point, y'all don't just say, I gotta cut bait. I gotta cut bait and move on to something else. It's 5 years until you can see a mother.
I mean, I'm just saying that this is what a lot of Filipinos would think. We are willing to wait for the good thing to happen. If that man is promising you something, like something good, you want to believe it.
In 5 years, you're going to be 45.
And I realize that a lot of Filipinos are very naive when it comes to, really, really naive when it comes to long distance relationships.
So in the process, y'all waiting 5 years. You give up other opportunities for some cats that might even be here in the Philippines already.
Yes.
Right? Some cats that you might work with, you might live around the corner from, and you pining over some cat at home who talking about he might be here in 5 years. Yeah,
because you want to be loyal to that person who's on the other side of the world, because I don't want to meet other guys. I don't want to entertain other guys because I want to remain loyal and faithful to that person.
I gotta ask you this again. That don't sound crazy to you when you hear it?
Huh?
That don't sound crazy to you when you hear it?
It doesn't sound crazy to me because I once believed that.
It don't sound crazy to you now, though?
Now it does.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that you waiting for a dude who might never come.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pass up all the opportunities of dudes who are already here, boots on the ground, dudes that are here already. You're looking for a foreign dude. There's foreign dudes here.
Yes.
And you are loyal to a dude you've never met face to face, who says he might be here in 5 years. But here's my thing. Don't be mad. I just gotta ask you: if it take a 5 years to save up to come to the Philippines, you really think you can afford you and 2 kids?
I don't think so. Doing a lot of videos about relationships with Filipinas and expats, it opened my mind really to a lot of things, a lot of logical reasoning why they won't come here. It really opened my mind, to be honest.
Right.
I learned a lot. We were talking for 6 months. Damn. And then on the 3rd month of video calling, he was asking him, Can I see your boys? Can I see your I want to see them, so they wanna see it through video call. And then of course the boys will just say hi, and then they see that person, they see that I'm constantly talking about that person. This is X, Y, and Z, and I'm talking to him online. And when poof, he's gone. What happened to him? It's embarrassing for me because I don't know what to say.
You lost a little face.
Yeah, I lost a little face, but what could I do?
I got a boyfriend in Alabama.
Yeah.
And he's coming in 5 years.
He didn't say he's coming in 5 years.
You know how dumb you sounded, huh?
Yeah. We were talking, and then during that time, it was around December when we video called, and then he said he's coming on January. So I'm just a little hyped, I'm a little excited because he's coming. But, come January, that's when he said, I got a medical.
Yeah,
I got some medical. I got this medical issue that it needs, financial. It's a lot. It's spendy, and
hey, if he had a medical issue that was spendy, and he couldn't afford it, or it was tough for him to afford, you really think he could afford you? And 2 kids?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And his mama?
I don't think so.
And a fiance visa?
If I'm just reflecting on, how gully. I think I was stupid. So my fault is that I didn't, because I believed the promise.
So, but look, I know a lot of dudes come here. Filipina introduces them to her family, right? Whole family meets him. He's making all these promises. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. and she's happy as hell. Her family's meeting the dude. She looks, she's got all this face, all this clout.
Yeah,
suddenly
that's
she's
clout,
got super clout.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking up to her, and then
he's gone.
So I mean, you do feel kind of shame, right? I mean, it's like you feel embarrassed.
I do. I did feel felt embarrassed. You lost face. But where's your boyfriend now? Yeah, man, let's not talk about the boyfriend.
You got something else to talk about?
But of course, not a lot of Western men who come here have bad intentions. But of course, a lot of men who come here really wanted to have genuine relationships with a Filipina. They really have good intentions.
I think most of the dudes who come here have good intentions. I think a lot of dudes get overwhelmed with the amount of attention they get.
Yes.
And they don't know how to handle it.
Yes.
They suddenly get a lot more attention than they ever got at home, and they just don't know how to deal with it. They think, they're trying to like decide, do I take this one, or this one?
There's so many.
They have all these choices suddenly. I think there's a lot of promises made, a lot of stuff said that probably shouldn't be said.
You're vetting. You're trying
life goes on, and they'll get over it. You got over it.
Yeah.
I mean, you moved on. But hold on though. Let's be fair. Responsibility goes both ways. I think sometimes women hear what they want to hear.
For sure.
I mean, the dude didn't say, "I'm gonna marry you." He said, "I really care about you, and I want us to be together." But she hears, "I'm gonna marry you, and I'm gonna take you to my country."
Yeah, that's a lot of times. What the Western man is saying is misinterpreted by the Filipina, or interpreting it differently in her mind.
Definitely.
She has a mind of her own.
Right? So, I mean, a lot of times I think it's cultural. So sometimes it's just a misinterpretation or misunderstanding. You just misunderstood them, or you just heard what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, like for example, when you say later, we'll talk about it later. To us, later means after an hour or a few hours.
It could. It could be next week. It could be next year, damn it. It could be next year. Depending on if I really want to talk about it or not. For the men, we need to be really clear and realistic so that there's no misunderstanding.
Yes, for sure. So if you're a Filipina, don't build your entire life believing all those promises. So look for someone who takes action. Don't just believe the empty promises.
For the fellas, how can we do better? Be clear about your intentions.
That's right.
Don't leave nothing up to guessing, nothing up to her ideas or nothing like that. Be very clear.
Is there anything that you don't understand from this conversation? That's what you...
I always say that, right?
Yes.
So anything I just said that you don't understand, do you have any questions? Oh, no, Rich. Oh, I understand everything. I got it all. Right? Okay, what else said? Oh, no. oh, no. But also, don't make promises, especially if you go on a trip, you go on a little holiday, you're both feeling good, right? You're at Boracay or Malapascua or someplace, and everything's good. You look in her eyes and say, maybe I'm going to take you to Alabama. But seriously, don't make promises that you can't keep. That's the bottom line, right? You know she's hanging on every word you say.
Yes.
Don't make those promises if you can't keep them.
And the next thing is very important. Meet the family of that Filipina only if you are serious. Because you will not only break her heart, but break the heart of her family as well.
That's tough. That's tough. Especially if she's got kids. Especially if she got kids.
I know, right?
How long did it take before I met the boys?
3 months.
About 3 months. I didn't want to meet them. I didn't really want to meet them because I didn't know if I was, we had some serious talks.
We talked about it.
And I told you, I don't want to meet them. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to meet them until I know if I'm going to be serious about you. Right? And that's how he was. And I didn't meet him for a while.
Yes.
For a little bit. Yeah. But look, when you get to the point where you are serious, be honest about your finances and your limitations. Look, if you broke, say I'm broke. At least she understands exactly where you are, and you'll understand exactly where she is too. Don't try to make it what it's not.
Yeah, and if you can't really bring her to your home country, don't say that to her because she'll be really hanging on to that hope and that promise.
I actually think a lot of dudes don't know how much it takes to bring somebody to their home country. I think a lot of dudes don't really understand the visa process, whether it's a spousal visa or a K-1 visa. They don't really get it. They don't understand how long it takes, how arduous the process is, or how much money it's going to cost. I don't think they really get it.
Don't let your emotions rush you into obligations. We normally say trust but verify, but this time we have to reverse it or tweak it a little. Verify first before you trust. Yeah. So you need to ask a whole bunch of questions to really know that person before you dive deep into that relationship.
And ask them questions 2 or 3 different times. See if you get, just to make sure you get the same answers. All right, she might say, I already told you. Okay, yeah, you did. That's right. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, and she might even get a little pissy, but that's okay. You're just verifying.
Yes.
For you trust. And here's a couple of cues for the Filipinas out there that might be a little naive and not be sure about what the guy's telling them. Look, first and foremost, ask some clear-cut questions. Some very clear questions. I know sometimes you might not want to ask them because you might not want to hear the answer, right? Because you didn't have your whole fantasy. It might jack up the whole fantasy, right?
Yes.
But you got to know. But you have to know it's better you know today than next year or next, once you get there and he's like, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Y'all too expensive and all that, right? Okay. And the next thing is watch his actions, right? Watch his actions. That's going to tell you everything. Same as what we talk about Filipinas. Does he visit you regularly? Is he invested in the relationship? So it's all the same stuff we say about the Filipinas. Is he responsible? How well does he communicate? All of that stuff. I think all that's important.
Also, another tip for Filipinas is to not give up your work for your dreams, for the dream of coming over to his home country, and then you're going to quit your job.
If you ain't sure, don't quit your job, because I'm telling you, let me, I've talked to enough foreigners, I've talked to enough expats, and I'm going to include myself in this group. If I just meet you and we're getting along good and we just met 1 month, 2 months ago, or whatever, but in the 3rd month or 4th month, the honeymoon is over and you start acting up, I have no problem leaving you. And you are now going to be broke without any kind of finances, without any kind of support. Don't quit your job, right? Don't quit your job until there's a ring on your finger. And you guys are what? I would do not quit your job. Right, because you're going to be the one looking stupid.
Yes.
All right, Ching, you got final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, love is always a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. But don't play someone else's heart, especially when you're in a different country. It's really tough.
You all right?
Yeah. Because I'm just, there's some good Filipinas out there who are really looking for genuine love.
We met some good Filipinas out there.
There are so many good Filipinas who are looking for love and partnership and long-term commitment. But if you don't plan on fulfilling that promise, don't make that promise.
I agree. I agree. Thank you, baby. I think like everything is the same for the women as we say for the men, right?
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't be telling women we love them if we don't love them, but maybe after the good, after she hits you with the Gucci coochie, right? You feel a whole bunch of ways. You might really love her for the next 30 seconds or so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't play with people's hearts.
Yes. So the Philippines is full of loving women, so we don't deserve those broken promises.
You're a loving woman?
Huh?
Are you a loving woman?
Yes, I think I am confidently loving woman.
Okay. All right.
Loyal.
You're loyal? All right. And my last part and comment is, just treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't play with people's hearts. Nobody wants to be played with. Imagine you coming here and being single and having a Filipino mess with your heart, saying all the wrong... Well, that happens, huh? Oh, never mind. Just don't do it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't have anything else. I have something else.
What else?
Don't forget to hit the like, to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest video.
You get updated on our latest videos. All right, thanks for watching. We always try to keep it real and be objective, give you both sides of the story.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Leave your comments below. Our audience is getting a lot bigger, so when you leave your comment, let us know where you're watching from.
Definitely.
All right, cool.
And don't forget, according to YouTube, the best way to help our channel grow is to watch another one of our videos right after this one. But before we do, don't forget to hit the like, to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest video. Spit it out.
And don't forget to leave your comments below because we like to. And don't forget to.
Words are very powerful.
They're powerful.
Letter F.
They're powerful.
Yeah.
So,
Words.
So powerful. You
So
can't even
powerful.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have the money, then that's the only thing that I need to have, especially when I want to get a Filipina girlfriend or to date a Filipina girlfriend. If I have that money, then I can lure her in.
I have no idea what you're saying. Not a clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're saying some of the same stuff. I think.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? Something crazy I heard.
What?
I'm gonna take you here. I'm preparing my house so that when I take you here in my country.
When I bring you.
When I bring you here in my country, the
Say
house.
it over
is,
again.
Okay. You wanna hear something crazy?
Not the whole goddamn thing.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 3. Stop. Stop.
Come on.
Ready.
He's gone, right?
Oof, the magic
Yeah.
dragon.
That's Puff.
Ah,
baby.
Puff pala.
That's Puff. Whew. All right. It's a good thing you're cute. All right.
Don't sing.
You said Poof the magic dragon?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We ain't gonna hit no copyright because the word ain't Poof. It's Puff.
I know.
Anyway. Ask some questions. If he didn't say I promise, then he didn't promise. Yeah.
But you still promised to go to Texas Roadhouse. We reached 10K.
You know what? You want to go to Texas Roadhouse?
We'll just order the cheap ones.
Why we gotta order cheap stuff?
The 400, they have a promo. And we'll eat a lot of buns. The free buns. Free bread.
Why are you always so cheap, man? If we're gonna go to Texas Roadhouse, let's just go. Why you gotta be cheap? Oh, we'll eat the free buns so we'll get full. Oh, rich. Oh. We'll tell everybody we went to Texas Roadhouse.
But we just ate
Yeah, we
bread.
ate the bread. Whatever it is. Anyway, you kill me, man. But you know what? Seriously, thank you, baby. Your cheap ass. So, if you like this video, we got a whole bunch of other videos that are just as good, if not better. So check those out too. In the meantime, between time, I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad.
And this is Cheng.
Deuces.
We're out.